Okay, so we'll start on our backs, as we often do, with a little bit of mindfulness. And the technique that I like to use is very simple. It's boring. It's meant to be boring. You could say that uh, a good spiritual or yoga practice is boring. Okay, it's tricky as a modern teacher because if you make things too boring, people just go do something else. So I have to try and make it interesting enough that people stay engaged, they keep coming back. But honestly, if we weren't in this kind of environment where people had so many distractions, the class might be a lot more boring than it is, and that would not be a bad thing. So just lay back, begin to follow your breathing, and if you get bored, good. Notice the boredom. Notice how that makes you feel. Notice what sorts of thoughts or assumptions come up. Because oftentimes when we experience boredom, we think there's something wrong. Not with us. Very often we feel like something is wrong with what's being presented. So you might have been in a yoga class like, oh my God, it's so boring. But again, we're applying our modern aesthetic and idea to an ancient spiritual practice. Our modern idea is everything's supposed to be interesting and happen instantly and be exciting and new all the time. And yet we find that these practices that I teach, the root, hasn't changed for thousands of years. Following your breath, which is the mindfulness practice I recommend here, this has been around for thousands of years. Why? Because it works. So it really doesn't matter if you've heard it before. It really doesn't matter if it's boring. It really doesn't matter what we think. The practice actually works. Okay, let's begin to deepen our breathing now. So inhale, fill the belly, ribs, and upper chest. And exhale, just reverse that. Good, and now let's layer on the Ujjayi sound, which is the fogging a mirror sound, if you will. And we will focus on one primary warm-up for today, which is the hamstrings. So let's bring the right leg in. Now this position is actually going to be quite important for the crow pose. So as you pull your leg in and you begin to move it around, just notice what you feel, because our leg will be more or less in this same position when we're attempting crow pose. So bring the leg in, just gently move it around a bit. Noticing what you feel there. So my hip feels pretty good. That's primarily what we'll feel. And then second stretch is hamstrings. Well, really the first stretch. So we're here and you can walk your hand closer to the foot, which will give you a more intense stretch. You can even grab the foot. All right, so again, just noticing what you're feeling here. I've always had very tight hamstrings, so this is an intense stretch, and it's much better than it used to be. Better meaning deeper. I didn't used to be able to stretch nearly this deeply with my hamstrings. And interestingly, they're still opening after decades of work. So it's just something to keep in mind. The body, it can keep changing over a very long period of time. So it's not necessarily weeks, months, or years that we're looking at here. Okay, let's release that leg. It's not an uncommon stretch for us to do in this class, hamstrings, okay? It's an important stretch too. Let's bring the left leg in. Now, you'll notice, obviously, I'm speaking, so I'm not doing the breathing, but I want you to try and maintain that same breathing, the ujjayi sound, the hissing sound with every inhale and every exhale, and then the three-part breathing. It will be more challenging in certain periods and certain positions. That's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect, but your job, if you will, is to make your best effort to keep that breathing pattern going. Okay, let's take the leg up. And again, this might be enough for you, or this, or grabbing the toe, grabbing the foot. So we're just going to take a few breaths here. Now, as I've been emphasizing the last few weeks, the magic formula is holding a stretch, breathing slow and deep, and then paying attention to what you're feeling to start. And then from there, you can pay attention to what you're feeling emotionally, what you're feeling in other parts of your body, what sorts of thoughts or judgments come up. Like when we try crow pose, and maybe if you're not able to do it, does a judgment come up? Oh, I suck at this, or what's wrong with me, or I'll never be able to do this. These are the types of things we want to begin to become mindful of, become aware of. All right, let's go ahead and release that leg. Take a breath. And then we're bringing both legs in, and we can rock up to a seat. From there, we'll come forward into tabletop position. So do a few rounds of cat-cow. And then coming back to neutral, we'll come into a dynamic downward dog, stretch everything out. All right, let's take a few breaths in down dog. Hands shoulder width, fingers wide, palms flat, chest toward the toes, feet hip distance, heels toward the ground behind the toes. With the exhale, we walk our feet to our hands, coming into a brief ragdoll here. And with arms relaxed, we'll inhale and just roll up to stand. Okay, so we'll do a few rounds of the more active Surya Namaskar now, sun salutations. So feet touch or hip distance, inhale, arms up. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to half lift. And then exhale, plant the hands, step the right and then the left foot to the top of a push-up. Let's take a full breath in, and as we exhale, drop the knees and bend the arms. Take a breath there. The next exhale, coming all the way down. And then as the inhale, lifting hands, head, neck, and chest. Good. Exhale, come down. Inhale, top of the push-up, or sorry, tabletop, and then exhale to down dog. Inhale, let's come to the toes, and exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale to standing back bend. And then exhale, stretch your right side with half moon. So inhale through center and exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center and exhale to forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, step the left and then the right to the top of a push-up for plank pose. So as usual, you can continue dropping your knees or you can keep them raised. Take a deep breath, exhale halfway down. Take a breath here. And then exhale all the way to your belly. This time, inhale, press into the hands, but keep your hips on the ground. Good. Exhale, come on down. And inhale, top of your push-up, and exhale back to downward dog. Okay, from here, inhale to your toes, fill the lungs. Exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend. Exhale, stretch your right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, stretch the left side. Inhale, center. And exhale, sit into an imaginary seat. Good. Inhale, standing back bend. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale right to the bottom of a push-up. Inhale, up dog this time, so knees, hips are off the ground. And exhale, push up on your way back to down dog. All right, so good work, everybody. From here, let's bring our feet to touch. We'll inhale right leg to three-legged dog. Okay, so the foot is flexed, the toes, knee, and hip are pointing down. Let's take a deep breath, exhale, lunge. And then as we inhale, let's just pivot and turn 180 degrees to the back of the mat here, okay? And then we'll drop the knee and rock our, we'll pivot 180 and then inhale up into this position, Anjaneyasana, okay? So this is the low lunge position or low lunge pose. So the hips are rocking forward and down, and we're stretching the front of the right hip. Those are our hip flexors. The arms are up and back, framing the ears. Now, if you've got a shoulder injury, you may need to change the position of the arms. That's okay. But try and make that because of a necessity and not just out of trying to keep yourself comfortable or to make the pose easy. We don't really want to make the practice too easy. We also don't want it to be too challenging. Okay, from there, let's exhale those hands down. Inhale the left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, pivot and turn again. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, raise the arms up and back. And then this time, exhale the hands down and rock the hips back over the left knee. And we find a stretch in the back of the right thigh. Okay, so this is the half monkey pose, Ardha Hanumanasana. So we're finding a stretch here. If you don't feel it, you could take a full split, but rather than raising your torso up, I want you to fold forward in that split. Good. From there, let's inhale, rock forward, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, right leg up and back. And then exhale, you can vinyasa and come back to the downward dog. Okay, side two, feet touch. Inhale, left leg, three-legged dog pose. And as you exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180. Exhale, drop the knee. And inhale the arms up and back to Anjaneyasana, low lunge pose. Again, now we're feeling that stretch at the front of the left hip. Good. Exhale those hands down. Inhale the right leg up and back to three-legged dog. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180 to face front. Exhale the knee down. Inhale the arms up and back. And then exhale, hands down, hips back, and front leg is straight. So just like we do with other forward folds, try and bring your forehead toward your knee or shin. Good. Inhale, let's rock forward, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, left leg up and back. And exhale, bottom of the push-up. Make your way to the down dog, okay? All right, so today we're working our crow pose. And since only one of you raised your hands, I'm going to really try and break this down for you. Here's the first thing you want to start to work on. Okay, the forearm plank looks like this. And the elbows are directly under the shoulders. Now, I don't know if you can see me, I'm not sure how big I am on your screen, but you can see my shoulders. This is what we want to avoid. This is what most of us will do initially. We'll just sort of collapse in the shoulders and we're not using our muscles. And so it looks like that. Instead, I want this. Can you see the difference there? My shoulders, I'm actually using the muscles in my shoulders there, okay? So it's called forearm plank. And people learn to hold this for sometimes 10 minutes. It not only strengthens your shoulders, but it also strengthens your core. Now, this is a little too much for your core, then just drop your knees, okay? But same idea, not collapsing, but engage in those shoulders. Believe me, your shoulders will get tired if you hold it. Mine are starting to get tired, okay? And I can do crow pose. So what I would recommend you do is start to break these things down. Okay, now that may not be the problem for you. There could be other things that are preventing you from doing crow pose. So I don't want to make it overly simplistic. But if you cannot hold that, probably for a couple of minutes, especially with your knees off the ground, then that's a good place to start working. And what I would recommend is start doing this daily or 3 times a week, 5 times a week, something like that. It's not a bad idea for you to have a routine. Maybe when we do the class on Monday and Friday, you skip those days. Maybe, I don't know, if time is a concern for you. But not a bad thing to start just working on. A lot of us, most of us, have too much weakness in the upper body. And again, I think we grow up in a culture where upper body strength is not emphasized, especially for women, but it's just as important for men and women alike, okay? So everyone, in order to be healthy, truly healthy, we need that strength up here in our shoulders and upper body. Okay, from there, make your way back to down dog. From down dog, inhale to the toes, exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, bottom of the push-up, making your way to downward dog. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can create a little flow out of what we've done so far. Okay, so feet touch. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Drop the knee. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Good. Exhale, the hands down and the hips back. Half monkey pose. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, the hands down. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, pivot. Let's repeat that. So exhale, the knee down. Inhale, arms up and back. Exhale, rock back. Stretch your left hamstrings. Good. Inhale, rock forward. And back. Good. Exhale that hand down. Inhale, left leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180. And then this time, let's inhale to a high lunge, Ashta Chandrasana. Main difference here is we're working a little harder now on that front thigh. Well, a lot harder. In the first one, we weren't really working this leg at all. So now we add strength to the stretch in the back leg. Arms are more or less unchanged, okay? Still looking up, breathing deep. Good, let's take a deep breath. Exhale, bottom of the push-up, making your way to down dog. Okay, from down dog, let's bring feet to touch. We inhale left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Good. Exhale, rock back. Half monkey. Inhale, rock forward. Good. Exhale those hands down. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, rock the hips back as the hands come down. Fold over your front leg. Good. Inhale, rock forward. Arms up. Good. Exhale those hands down. Let's inhale. Right leg up and back. Let's repeat that turn. So exhale, lunge. Inhale, 180. And then this time we just inhale and raise the arms up into our high lunge, Ashta Chandrasana. Okay, let's take a deep breath and exhale to the bottom of our push-up. Okay, so as we work up toward crow pose, my recommendation is to continue working where your edge is. So for some of you, let's come here again, forearm plank. This is going to be your edge. It's already challenging. It's already difficult, or maybe even possible. Maybe you need to drop your knees here. Okay, so if that's the case, I want you to just repeat this because that's how you get better at something. Practice, okay? Practice makes progress. So let's practice what we are not yet good at rather than trying to jump ahead to more challenging things, okay? Now, if you've mastered that, the next step looks like this. And this is called a dolphin. Now again, shoulders, if you look at me, this is not what we want to do. This is shoulders collapsing. So I'm actively pressing the ground away with my elbows. It's like I'm pushing my elbows into the ground with my shoulders, okay? My head is not touching the ground. It might look like it from the view of the camera, but my head is not touching the ground, okay? All right. From there, let's make our way back to downward dog. So again, that's called a dolphin, okay? From down dog, let's inhale to the toes, fill the lungs. Exhale to the front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. And exhale, bottom of the push-up. All right, we've got one more flow to get through here. So let's bring our feet to touch. Inhale, right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, lunge. Inhale to Anjaneyasana. Exhale to Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Good. Exhale those hands down. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180. And then this time, let's inhale to Ashtha Chandrasana. Good. Exhale the hands down. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180. Inhale to Ashtha Chandrasana. Good. And then exhale to Warrior 3, which is a posture we do quite a lot. I think we did it last week, as a matter of fact. Okay. So left leg is lifted, torso parallel with the ground, arms parallel with the ground, framing the ears. Left foot is flexed, toes, knee, and hip are pointing down. Good. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bottom of the push-up. So I think all of you have heard me extol the virtues of standing balance. Very, very important, again, for our health. A lot of things that are important for our health are not the things that are touted in fitness, like six-pack abs, not important for health. A nice, lush, big, toned butt, not important for health. Big pectoral muscles and biceps, not important for health. But things like being able to stand on one leg, important for health. Shoulder strength, arm strength, not big bulging muscles, but being able to hold some of the postures I'm talking about, important for health. Core stability, not six-pack abs, but being able to stabilize the core, important for health. Okay? Okay, so feet touch. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, lunge. Inhale. Low lunge. Good. Exhale. Fold over the front leg. Good. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, hands down. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180. Exhale, and then as you inhale, come on up to crescent lunge for a moment. Good. Exhale, turn the hands to the ground. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180. Exhale there. And then inhale, crescent lunge. And exhale to Warrior 3. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale, bottom of our push-up. Make your way back to down dog. Okay, great work. So let's again go through our 2 stages of difficulty that we've covered so far. Actually 3, so coming down to the forearms, first level of difficulty would be knees down. But again, shoulders engaged. So it's like I'm trying to get as far from the ground as I can. Level 2 or 1.5, you could say, is here. Ideally, this is where we all are, at least. We're able to hold this. This requires, again, shoulder strength, core strength. Next level is the dolphin. Okay, I'm here. What I'm doing is I'm now adding more weight, so the shoulders have to work even harder. I'm also inverting my body, which makes my cardiovascular system work. So lots of benefits. Even if I never do crow pose, I'm getting benefit by working toward it. Okay? All right, let's look at the next level. You see I've bent my knees now. And I either place them on the back of my arms or I hug my arms, okay, with my insides of my knees. Now I want to look up, shoulders engaged, and I bring my face very close to the ground, and I try and lift one set of toes at a time, and then eventually lift both sets of toes. What this does is a few things. One is we're so close to the ground that the fear of falling tends to go away. We're really like literally an inch off the ground. So you can try it, try it. Let your face touch the ground and, there won't be painful or anything like that. Hopefully it's not scary, okay? So that I call baby crow, baby bakasana. And it's just a good way to begin to train the body to work toward the crow pose, okay? So give that the college try. So again, you have several things you could be working on now. Holding your forearm plank, try like 10 breaths, then come out, rest, come back into it. Plank, dolphin, same thing. Try holding the dolphin, 10 slow deep breaths, come out, take a rest, and then try again. That kind of repetition is going to build the strength. Same with baby crow. Now I'll say this about baby crow. For some, it's actually harder than crow because it requires more flexibility. Less strength, more flexibility. So if I'm someone who has more strength and less flexibility, I may actually struggle with that one and not with the full crow, okay? So now I want to look at a few more levels of difficulty for those that are ready. So that this would be at least Sarah, and maybe some of you were able to come this far. Well, first, crow, which some of you may be ready for now, okay? So this is the one that Sarah said that she could do at the beginning. So first thing I want you to do is this. These are called chaturanga arms. I have a right angle here, and I stack shoulders, elbows, and wrists, okay? Very, very important. Now, when I say put your hands on the ground, in person, what most people I see, they do this. They straighten their arms. So first thing I said was arms are bent. So if you do this, your arms aren't bent anymore. So that's the first problem a lot of people are running into. So how do you get your hands to the ground without straightening them? Well, think about it. Lift your butt up, right? See my arms? They're still bent. Okay, now this is an awkward position, so it's understandable why people don't think to do it, but this is what you need to do. Now look up. Now here's, again, since almost none of you were able to do it, here's what I want you to work on next, okay, is this. Lift one leg. Make sure the arm is supporting the weight of the leg. It doesn't collapse. Okay, then put that leg down. Try the other leg. Okay, it shouldn't collapse. You don't want it to collapse. If it's collapsing, then you might go back to one of the earlier progressions, right? The forearm plank, the dolphin pose, because those are going to help build up that static strength. That's what's called static strength, okay? Now, if you can do this without the feet collapsing, then try lifting both feet at the same time. If you fall backward, what that means is you aren't committing to the pose. You're afraid of face planting, so you have too much weight going backward. It's a balance pose, and the way balance works, you may already know this, but if you don't, balance works when you have equal weight on both sides, right? Otherwise, you tip in one direction. So there's no way for me to balance on my hands if all my weight is going back, because that's what we want to do, isn't it? That's the safe direction, right? Oh, let me try this. Oh, Oh, I can't do it. I want to go this direction, don't I? I don't want to go that direction. So that's why most people don't commit, because they're afraid of face planting. All right? So, fear, right? This is one of the things we get to work with in our yoga practice. What is actually holding me back here? Is it flexibility? Is it strength? Is it balance? Or is it an emotion, fear? Okay? I don't know the answer. It could be different for every one of you. It could be a combination of those things. But if none of those things are present, you can do the pose. I promise you. If you're strong enough, if you have a good balance, if you're flexible enough, and you're not afraid, you'll be able to do the pose. Full stop. Okay? All right. So for Sarah, the next step for her, and this is a big step, just FYI. Okay? This is not a small, even though this is the next step, it's a big one. Okay? So if you're able to do crow pose, the next thing we work on looks like this. I take one leg and extend it behind me. Okay, and that's called Ekapada Bakasana, first variation. Okay, looks like that. Okay, it might look really easy, but it really requires a lot of core stability and strength in the posterior chain. Okay, so this is what I would like Sarah to start to work on. Again, all hell might break loose, but that's how we start almost anything. If you've ever learned a musical instrument, you know, the first time you tried, it was a disaster, right? It's not like you know how to play. Yep, not easy at all. All right, so give those, again, hopefully you know where your edge is, where you're getting challenged, right? That's where you should be spending most of the time. So that could have been the forearm plank, dolphin, baby crow, crow pose, one-legged crow. So we've gone through a lot of progressions. Hopefully each of you know where your challenge is. Now the homework I would give you from today's class is start to work on that every day. Not so you can do crow pose. Who cares about crow pose? But what we've done is we've identified an issue. Again, I don't know what it is for you. You've identified it. Is it fear? Is it balance? Is it strength? What is it? But whatever it is that you're doing where you find that challenge, that's going to allow you to begin to work through it, right? Daily working on that, okay? So that's how I'd like you to approach this. Okay, let's go ahead and take a rest on our belly. Right hand over the left hand, forehead on the back of the hands. We'll just take a breath here. All right, let's do a Shalabhasana. I love this back bend because of how it strengthens the back. So let's just have our arms out the sides, a little bit easier. And then inhale, we'll lift everything that we can lift as high as we can lift it. Good, exhale, come on down, left hand over the right, forehead on the back of the hands. Take a deep breath in, exhale with a sigh. Good, from there, let's press back to child. Good, inhale, sit up. And let's do the gate next. So you may want to face the long side of your mat like I am. Let's take the left leg straight out to the left. Okay, and then we inhale, right arm up, and exhale into the side stretch, Parigasana. Good, let's inhale, we come on back, and exhale, bring that leg in. Let's do the other side, gate posture. Inhale left, arm up, and exhale as you come over. Good, inhale, let's come on back, and exhale to Vajrasana, Thunderbolt. Let's just take a breath. All right, good. Let's do another back bend. So we come up into the kneeling position, preparation for Ustrasana, camel. So we'll tuck those toes, hands to the low back, elbows in. Inhale, lift the heart, and exhale as you begin going back. And you can grab heels if it feels okay in your back, and you can let your chin drop back if it feels okay in your neck. Good, inhale, come on up, and exhale. Let's cross those ankles and sit back, and we'll bring our legs out in front of us. Paschimottanasana is next. Feet are flexed, spine is straight. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Good. Arms to the ears. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, roll back onto your back. So you're there, let's bring those legs in, give them a nice squeeze. Make some circles with your knees. And then from there, we can drop those arms and take knees to the left as we look to the right. Good, let's inhale those knees through center. Exhale them to the other side. Good. Inhale, knees back to center. Let's grab the soles of the feet. Give our legs a little stretch. And then unwinding onto your back for Shavasana. As usual, I recommend grab a timer, set it for 5-6 minutes. You can always do longer, but I would do at least that amount of time and then relax on your back until the timer goes off. All right, everyone. So thanks again for joining. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Again, it was good to see some of you at the aquarium yesterday, and hopefully I'll see you in September, which is, I think, the next one. Anyway, thanks again. Reach out with questions. Otherwise, I'll see you on Friday for Yin Yoga. Thanks again.
Poverty. This gap is also widening in terms